Let's see.
I just feel like I should sit here and grin.
Just smile. That's funny.
It is funny.
Mine hasn't kicked in yet.
Okay, we're going to wait a second to make sure we're live in case you can hear us.
I got the ad, so I bet we are.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, friends. Welcome to my studio. I just love that. I feel like I could see you waving back at me. Happy Wednesday, Friends Days. I feel like we need like a little background sound that goes, yay. I'm looking over here at Emily. She's here in the studio with me.
Hi.
She's helping manning the chat. Is that, I should say, womaning?
Womaning, yeah.
We're going to paint a cardinal ornament today. So this one, the traceable's on my website. Is that too big, Emily, or does that work okay?
You are good. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So we're going to paint the cardinal, and then we're also going to wire the gnome ornament. And the full gnome ornament will go up, and I buried my notes. I'll let you know later, but I think it's the first Friday in November. So I'm going to grab the phone and then bring you guys over here to my art table. We're going to go for a little ride, and then we'll get started and have some fun and play. Okay, here we go. Like, I feel like I should warn you in case you want to turn down your volume, avert your eyes. I'm stepping over microphone cords, but I'm not successful. Oh, you get a little look at my corner here. There's my paints. Okay. And then we'll stick you in my video arm, which I just turned. And I didn't mean to turn it. But I think it's okay. Emily, you're going to tape for me.
I will tape.
Let's see where I... Oh, yeah, it looks like... Yay, I have tape to keep me in frame and other props to keep me... I guess I already said that, in frame. Okay, here's the cardinal. I've already started the background. I used... Actually, you know what? Let's just start with wiring the gnome, and I'll talk about this one in a little bit. Here's the gnome. I had it there to make sure when I brought my phone over here, we were set up well.
There you go.
Okay. All right, thank you, Em. I might even sit down here. How is everybody doing? I hope you're...
I see Bonita in the chat, and she was the one that asked about knowing how to wire it, so that's perfect.
Yay! Yay! So here's the gnome. Isn't he cute? I like happy art, and it makes me laugh, and this guy really makes me laugh. I've signed the back, and then I put a gel gloss isolation layer on it just because I like to do that. I think it kind of seals things up, and I think it gives the paint some depth. So I use, right now I've got Liquitex gel gloss, and then I've got it in a golden jar. I buy either brand I can find right now during the pandemic, and they both mix a little differently. I think the Liquitex is 1 part water to 3 part gel gloss, because that's what I have on here. And I think the golden, or no, I think it's the other way around. I think the golden is 1 to 3, and the Liquitex is 1 part water to 4 part gel gloss. And it just kind of looks like that, and then it dries clear. But I think it makes the colors look a little richer. You guys, if you ever try it, let me know. And then once that dries, I put, in the case of an ornament, I put satin varnish on it. I don't know if you're getting any glare or can see it. Or not satin, glass. I'm having trouble this morning.
What about the dark? Show the darker tree. It might pop up more on the
that's
darker
a good idea.
color.
Here's one that's wired. And
Because you can kind of see it on the gnome, but you might see it a little better on the dark. Maybe not. I may have just made a bad decision. You saw it better on the gnome, I think. Oh, there you go. There you go.
I think you get some flashes.
Yeah.
And then this has gold metallic paint on it for the lights, which is fun. There's a traceable for this one on my website. That's so funny. I'm having trouble. Oh, I was going to grab. So on the ornaments, I put gloss varnish. Here's what it looks like. This happens to be the satin varnish because I could reach it. Okay. Hopefully that answers any questions that might crop up. I drilled the ornaments, or the 4x4 inch canvas panels from Michaels. My husband has a little Dremel tool that he set up like a little drill press. I'm putting a video together that'll show that quickly if you want to see what that is. Oh, here, I can maybe look to see when that video posts. I have so many notes. Yeah, it's going to post Friday, November 5th. You can see the little drill press thing I use. So I use wire. This wire is a little thicker, and it's kind of bent and stuff, but I keep it on hand for the length. Is that all in frame?
Mm-hmm.
For the length of how long I want it to be. You know, gosh, I'm having trouble today, Em. So I pretty much have a standard length for the hanger for the wire. There we go.
It's the gloomy weather.
Is it? It is. We have gentle rain outside today. It's really nice.
Yeah, it sounds like a what are those, white noise machines or whatever?
Oh, it does. So then I just measured it out and cut a new piece. So you don't have to do that, but I just kind of keep one on hand so I know the length. And then I found this on Amazon. I think you say Doris. I don't know if it's craft wire. It's 20 gauge, which I think is a little easier to bend. This is a little heavier wire. I don't know if you can tell that on video. But it'll bend. But just for reference, this is 20 gauge wire. And then these beads are from Michaels, which is what I have on both the snowman and the tree I showed you. And then I just got these beads on Amazon. I think they're 8mm beads. But I like that they come in a case, which is why I bought them. Okay, so let's wire it. I got a couple of these little 4x4 canvas panels to lift this up, because normally I sort of lay it on the table edge, but then that won't show on camera. So all you do is stick the wire through. Oh, and I painted the holes with white paint just to kind of clean them up before I even started. And then I just kind of guess. I just kind of look at it, see if they look kind of even, and just push it up. And then we put a bead on. Well, these are kind of fun. I like them. They're kind of pretty.
Yeah, they're cute.
Those are pretty. So I buy silver beads just because I find silver wire. I think you can find copper.
Yeah, you can find copper and gold. I don't know the gauge, though, you know. If that one's a little... I know gold, you can probably find just as many in the 20 gauge or whatever silver comes in. You can probably find it just as easily. But,
oh, yeah, this... Oh, go ahead. I'm
sorry.
No,
that's all I really had. So.
Okay. So that's a little awkward because now I'm bending it a little forward. So all I want to do is just kind of get that one out of my way. All right. And so this is going to be my table edge. And then this is my handy dandy twist tool. You can tell I don't know how to do it like this. And then I just wrap it around. It's a little hard. Sorry guys, it's a little backwards for me. Let's try this way. No, that's not going to work.
Is it easier if you pick it up, or how you...
No, because I usually lay it on the edge of the table.
Oh.
So I'm going to just try it without lifting it up and see if I can. I'm making this look harder than it is. There we go. Yeah, a little height would help me. Yay! Yeah, I kind of like this. I got to remember I like this 20 gauge better. And then if you want it to kind of go up, just turn it. And then if you want it a totally smooth curve, you can nip the end. And always cover it so in case it would pop up. You don't want it to catch you in the eye or something. And that is how you do it. You can kind of adjust it if you want, whatever. All right, we'll do the other one. Isn't this fun? But I know people wanted to see.
Yeah, and I love how abused that colored pencil is.
Oh, well, I've been rubbing the paint off because I've been wrapping wire on it for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
It's just a... Oh, it's a Blick
Yeah, I think it's
pencil.
a Blick, yeah.
Hey, Blick Art Materials. Your pencils have more than one use. Yeah, see, the reason why I would hold it on the edge of the table because it keeps this bottom wire flatter. For me, that's a little easier. But I wondered how hard this was going to be for me to do on camera. So if you have thicker than 20 gauge wire, I don't think I would have been able to do it it'd have been tougher because it's harder to bend.
Mm-hmm.
But what's nice about if it's more than 20 gauge, higher than 20 gauge, is then your wire stays in place better. It's sturdier. I don't know if you can see this one. It's not too bad, but it's been a little bent over the years because sometimes kids will be in galleries and play with it, or it just gets bent from being handled. Alrighty, I think I'm going to cut that end off because I don't know if you can see that it's a little flat.
A little bit, yeah.
I'm going to put it down so I can cover it. Oh, these are just wire cutters. I don't know where I got them. It says Taiwan on them. Oh, Ace Hardware.
That's where you got them.
That's where I got them.
I wonder if you
That's funny.
swiped them from the basement.
I don't think so because they look.
They're small, like jewelry.
Yeah. I think it was when I was doing the jewelry stuff, my jewelry phase. Okay, ta-da. A little rough start there, but ta-da. Oh, Emily's clapping. I don't know if you guys can. And then sometimes I'll mess with them, if one's a little tighter. Okay, that's how you wire them. Hopefully that was helpful.
That gnome turned out so cute.
It did. I like
all the layers on his hat help.
Yeah, I like that I made his hat fuzzy. You could do it differently. I like that I added a couple layers of white, and then I don't know. This is probably in the video that'll go up on Friday, November 5th. I put a little black in there just to make his mustache sort of come forward. And he's leaning a little bit.
He's cute.
Thank you, hon. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle a few things here. And as long as I'm shuffling, I'm going to switch glasses. Had my party glasses on. So I started the Cardinal because I'm still learning with these lives how long something takes me to paint and talk. I'm trying to figure out where to put things in case I want them. So I've got a palette started too. Okay, so let's go over the colors first. Hooker's green. I just like that green. Pretty sure it's after somebody's name, just in case you ever wondered. Love quinacridone magenta. I need to buy some more of this. I really started to fall in love with yellow orange azo because it mixes really, I think it's yummy with the quinacridone. Mixes a great red, which is what I've got here on my palette. I put out some unbleached titanium because in the background I mixed a pretty dark green. I mixed this color. And then this is straight up Hooker's green. And then I just kind of blended it with my brush as I was painting. And then I threw in a little unbleached titanium for the lighter areas. Just for fun. I think that's all my colors. So here's the red I made with yellow orange azo, and the quinacridone. And then I pulled out and made a lighter orange. And then I pulled out some orange, added a little of this color, which looks black, I think, on the video. Oops, I'll push that up a little
Almost.
bit. It's a kind of a brown.
Yeah.
And then I was going to show you that, I guess you can kind of see in that puddle that it's kind of a brown. If I wanted it a little cooler, add a little green to it. I don't know with these two colors you can actually get a black. In theory, if they're opposite the color wheel, which I suppose red would be, but I don't know what's in Hooker's green, you could get a neutral gray, dark gray, but in theory. Okay. I used my traceable, which I save, and I'm going to use again and paint, I don't know how many ornaments I'll get done this year, which is why we're doing these in the lives too, because I need to get some painted into the galleries. So I'll use this, I don't know, as long as it'll hold up. And then I used a new pastel because I discovered they're not as crummy. They don't leave as much dust. But sometimes I'll just grab a regular, inexpensive chalk pastel just because it's handy. And then you can just scribble on the back again and use it for another ornament if you want, or print another one out. Whatever works for you. Am I talking too much, Em?
No.
Okay, I didn't know. I can see a few comments in chat, but I'm not reading it.
Bonita just said thank you for that for the wire.
You're welcome.
Showing how to. I can't talk either. Showing you how to do the wire.
It's kind of like I slept late. It's nice and cozy in the house. You think I'd be really ready to roll. And I'm getting excited to play with my friends on Wednesdays. It's really fun.
Yeah, Wednesdays are my favorite days.
Yeah, I know they've been Emily's favorite days from the get-go. I was nervous. I'm doing much better. Well, and I think it's good to see that I struggled. The wire didn't totally wrap neatly at first, but you can fix it. I think sometimes it's better when you see me struggle and how I solve the problem. Okay. Got the word love on there. I wrote that on with watercolor pencils from Michael's, but you could use chalk pastel or whatever you want to do. Okay, so I decided to paint the background. You can do it any way you want. You could have painted the background over all of this. And then that can help you, if you just maybe paint some white highlights on the cardinal, really get some depth and have that cardinal blend into the background more. For whatever reason, I decided not to. And then I'm thinking, I'm going to paint in some shadows because we know the quinacridone is quite transparent. Yellows are almost always quite transparent. I think Hooker's green is. And some of the blues are. You get to know your colors if you don't buy as many as I do and you use the same ones all the time. But I think what might be kind of fun is if we paint in some shadow. I might pick this up and you guys let me know if I go off camera. And then we'll paint over it. So we'll kind of glaze almost. You could say we were going to glaze the cardinal with some reds and maybe some oranges. All right, that was quite a bit setting the table. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab a little of the darker, so I don't forget the tail kind of curves up here. Oh, and I just left little hints of the branches so I remember it's there. You could completely cover it, whatever your comfort level is. I like to leave little road maps for myself so I don't forget things. Oh, and then I was thinking if we get far enough, we put like little red berries on. Oh, and splatter. One of the things I love about doing the ornaments is splattering. Although I didn't splatter. I splattered the gnome. I just used this brush, mixed a little thin paint. If we don't get that far, one tip, hold the brush back a little further and you'll get more action and it'll bounce more and you'll get more splatters. Yeah, I didn't splatter the two samples I have. This one's kind of fun though. If you don't want to splatter, I just put in different color. Like there's a dark blue snowflake and there's a light blue one and then I put some dots in. Okay, I keep thinking of stuff. Let's paint. I'm so glad you guys are here to play with me in the studio. It makes it so much more fun. I had a comment, and I don't remember where, and it wasn't like mean or anything, but they're like, I think it was actually Halloween already, but I'm like, I've got to get stuff done ahead of time.
Yeah, I know.
Especially if you're going to ship it. I don't know if I'll ship any of these, but
I think just last night, Chase was talking to Matt, who has come in the chat quite a few times, and
yes.
he was like, well, what's she doing tomorrow or something like that, and I was like, another ornament, because she's got to get ready for the period where you can sell it so then someone can put it on their tree, and he's like, wow, we just skipped straight to Christmas.
We had the pumpkin and we had the gnome, but they were early too. Actually, I usually start the ornaments before now. Because they take me, I paint faster off camera when I'm not chatting. They take me, I average 3 hours an ornament because I'm like, ooh, like, ooh, let's put some gold paint on here, What if I, do I like the values in the tree? I just get kind of crazy. Oh, and then I glazed some color over the background underneath the tree so there's some light from the glow of the tree. You know, I like to play. I'm sure I could be more efficient. But then I don't, it's not as fun for me, so. That's when it's nice to be self-employed. You can do for you a lot, or a lot more. Oh, so I kind of like was messy with my green. I can just kind of come back and smooth it out. All right, I'm going to focus, see if we can get some of this brownish color down and show you what I mean. And you could use a little bit bigger brush. Sometimes I use a little 1/4 inch flat brush. But since I was having trouble with my words, I'm thinking I want a little more control today. Let's see, how does this look? Maybe I'm gonna grab some, just kind of wiped my brush off a little bit there. I think I want to maybe not have my shadow quite so high. So M told me about Only Murders in the Building on Hulu. And I think I've watched through episode 5. And it's not, I think maybe I don't know what adjective to use, but you start, it won't ruin it for me to tell you, I don't think you start with a murder and you just kind of see a little red side of someone's head, but it really isn't gross or gory, and it's I don't know how to describe it. It's fun. It's a little tongue-in-cheek. Oh gosh, it's got some names in it. It's just, if you haven't, I think a lot of you will like it. I think it speaks to a lot of age ranges and.
Yeah, so Steve Martin wrote it. I think he's one of the writers.
I think he wrote and produced.
And then he's one of the executive producers. And then Martin Short's in it, and it's the main 3 are Martin Short, Steve Martin, and Selena Gomez. So it's funny to watch. They're like 70-ish. I think.
Know. I know. I just saw the episode where he says he's low to mid 65 years old.
Yeah, where he's like low to mid to late or whatever, 60s. So that makes me feel like he's like 70. If he's like, low to mid to late.
I suppose we could Google and find out.
Yeah, I could find out. But and then Selena Gomez is like 29, 28. So she's running around with these 70-year-old guys trying to solve a murder in their apartment building. And it's funny because, like, she teaches them how to use their phones, or like, I remember there's a scene where Steve Martin signs his text like you would sign an email,
Yeah.
And she's like, you don't need to do that. It comes from you. I know who it is. And then there's a scene where, like, you realize that he learned that, and like he typed out his full name, but he deletes it and sends it like that. And it's just cute and it's funny.
Well, because it's on point. I mean, you and your brother have taught me a lot of things. Well, and then they'll say, so Selena Gomez's character's name is Mabel, and they'll say, Mabel taught me that.
Yeah, Mabel taught me that. He's 70. Well, in real life, he is 71. I don't know how old the character himself is, but Martin Short is 71. Steve Martin is 76.
Oh, is he?
And then
I always say he's younger, but you never know.
And then Selena Gomez is 29 in real life, and I think that's kind of like around the ages that they have their characters at too.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, so I thought I would let you know that I'm getting. They talked about rando, and that the 2 old guys learned what rando means. So I thought that was cute. I think I can't remember the whole line, but something like he's not some sort of rando person.
Yeah.
Or I can't remember. See, I'm doing it like Steve Martin and Martin Short would,
Yeah, trying to figure it out. We have quite a few people in the chat. So we have
yay. Hello, everybody.
We have Bonita, which I said in the beginning. We have Barbara. Suzanne's here. Tinker's here.
Hey.
And Eric just popped into the chat.
Oh, hey, guys. Eric sent me photos of his studio and then his equipment. He's got a neat studio arm that I might look into.
As well as Ruth. I needed to go. I should have gone in order. I kind of jumped around. I think I can't remember if I skipped anybody.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's so much more fun. I'm not alone in my studio when you guys show up. I really appreciate it. That sounded pretty pitiful. I didn't mean it that way, but I do spend a lot of alone time.
Freckles is very offended, that you don't count her as a person in your studio.
Well, she's kind of the boss. So, So I'm putzing. When I talk and paint, I go slower. So I put there's a feather going one way and a feather going another way. If you don't like that, just take one off. Don't draw it if you use the traceable. So all I'm trying to do is have a shadow here. That's so fun. Eric has a neat bunch of shelves that he has all this paint on. I'm like, that's so neat and organized. Looks awesome.
Yeah, where's your neat and organized?
Well, I kind of flashed it when I moved the... It's not bad.
No. But I would be way worse.
And this metal shelving unit I have is really wiggly, so sometimes all the paints fall down. And I just say a word that I shouldn't say and fix it. But it was so cheap. I think it was like $20 for this wire shelving. It fit the budget.
You almost need floating shelves eventually, though. So you just
the only reason
line them all up, or
floating shelves. I don't know what that means.
Like a floating shelf on a wall.
But it floats.
A floating shelf is like the ones where, how do I describe it? It's just like a block of wood, Oh. Like that look. It's it looks like a mantle but skinnier on a wall,
Yeah, I've seen other artists do that and they just line up their paints.
Yeah.
Their paintings.
You could totally do that. Or I was thinking like pegboard and the ones that have the hooks in the holes,
I like the floating shelves.
Okay, floating shelves, okay.
The interior designer in you just kind of came out there for a second.
Oh, Ruth says, I assume it's in referring to Only Murders in the Building. Ruth says she watched the first 2 episodes.
Oh, good. Well, I hope I didn't talk too much. I don't want to spoil anything. I really like the characters.
Yeah, I think what I love is right when I'm getting oh no about something, there's something funny happening too, so it kind of calms you down. Whereas there's those shows that are so tense where I'm like, okay, I can only watch X amount of episodes and I gotta take a break. Because it's I'm just itching with what's gonna happen. But this is it's kind of, I feel anytime it gets tense, Martin Short says something or something. I feel it's always him saying something funny or something funny happens and it just kind of lightens the mood.
I think it's funny you get tense. I haven't had that yet. I'm just waiting for the next joke.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I get tense about
I don't get tense at all with it. It doesn't scare me. It
doesn't scare me, but I'm just oh, they gotta figure out who it is, because
they're really hooking you.
Yeah.
That's good.
They did a good job, at least hooking me.
Well, Chase liked it too. Chase is Emily's boyfriend.
He loved it. He was on there's a subreddit for it, so basically just a forum where people talk about it, and he was because it leaves it a little bit on a cliffhanger by the end of the season for probably to hook you for season 2,
right.
Get you in the show that it reminds me a lot of to jump in my brain is that one show that we watched together, Dead to Me.
Oh,
it reminds me very much of Dead to Me.
The 2 women that move in together and they're opposites. Kind of little Felix and Oscar stuff going on.
Yes. So Chase was on the subreddit, reading about, everyone's theories, what they think is happening in the next one.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. But let's see here. To change topic, which we don't have to fully do, but Eric said that he gets those shelves at Hobby Lobby when they have the 50% off sales.
Oh. Thank you, Eric. He's been a wealth of information. Thank you. Yeah, well, we'll figure something out. When I moved into this is Emily's bedroom, is now my studio. And it has a neat chalk wall, which I really love. We put that up when she was 12. It was a bribe to get her to clean up her room, and I think it was a good bribe because you cleaned up your room, but then I think it was a disappointing chalk wall because it's kind of hard to color.
Yes. Yeah, it was.
I felt bad.
While I definitely had the messiest room in the house, I now have the room with the best carpet in the house.
Yes, because it was always covered with clothes. So
it was very well preserved.
Yeah.
So you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, I guess we didn't think about the texture that the wall has.
Yeah. I didn't.
Yeah, and by the time we tested it out, and what is it called when you cure it?
Yeah.
We were like, uh-oh. And then I started drawing on it, and I just couldn't. I pictured I wanted it smooth, like a blackboard.
Slate smooth.
Yeah.
Yep, and it's not.
And it's not. I didn't even think about it.
Me either. Yeah, that was one of those things that worked well for me and not for you.
Mm-hmm. And it is hard to kind of clean off, too.
I have figured out how to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy chalking once in a while on it. But anyway, I think where I was going is this was a really much bigger room than my original studio was the smallest bedroom in this house. And so all of a sudden I had all this space and it was great, and now I've filled it up. And it seems small again. But I have like pretty much shipping and box storage is Jack's old room.
Yeah, you're leaking, you're seeping into the other rooms.
I actually kind of like leaching, even though
you're leaching into the other rooms. Yeah, Jack's old. I like my old bedroom is not your office. Jack's old bedroom is
shipping.
Is like the shipping.
Some
stuff.
Storage. Yeah.
Yeah, shipping, storage, but also Jack's like old stuff.
Yeah, he still has a few things in there.
And then old office still has desk in it, so someone can work in there, but it has the cart table up too.
Yeah, during the pandemic when your dad wasn't working in the office, he worked there for a little bit.
Tinker wants to know, does it make you nervous when people watch you paint? I would be, is what she says.
No, that part, well, I was just really nervous the first couple times. No, because it's going to kind of look, I just like got mess all over because I wasn't paying attention. Here, let's see if that'll come off so I don't forget about it. If it's wet enough and my background's dry enough, I can just wash it off. Look at that. No, because I'm used to it kind of looking not so hot and then it comes together towards the end. What's really hard for me is to use words and paint. I've noticed that's kind of hard for several other artists. I'm starting to feel okay about that. Look, so if your paint's dry enough and it won't wake it up when you wash it off, you could just wash off whatever I drug through there when I was chatting.
Yeah, because I noticed in your videos, you kind of do chat, talk, maybe you do a couple brush strokes, and then it's time-lapse. Yeah. So you really only have to, it's not suffering, but you only have to put up with that uncomfortable, both brain sides are working at the same time for a little bit. But when we do the lives, it's an hour straight of but double brain power. So
yeah. I just realized I wanted to shadow here. Yeah. I think it's better. I think it'll be good for me. And I don't know if you really use your left and right brain like that. I don't know if scientists are figuring out if that was just a thing somebody made up. Mm-hmm. But I do feel a weirdness when
it's a good analogy,
right now,
if
talking
anything.
Versus painting is just really weird.
Yeah. It's a good analogy, if anything, if it's not real.
It's a good visual, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't.
And Suzanne says, my husband put a chalkboard railing of about 5 feet long so I can put my wet or dry paints. He has a good idea. I'm horrible at reading comprehension. Did that make sense to you? Okay.
So Emily is my daughter.
I know. The thing is, I need to read in my head and then read aloud. So let's see here.
I didn't think about that. That's not your favorite thing to do. And I have
okay. It's like paint storage. My brain is going chalk. I'm assuming it's like the aluminum railing type deal that's underneath a chalkboard to collect the dust, store your chalk. Yes. I think that's what she uses to store the paint instead of like a shelf. Oh. But my brain it was in chalkboard land, so the storage was confusing me.
Right. Yeah, I do that all the time.
And Tinker says that she has floating shelves It makes her feel fancy, but she found them at a thrift store for $8.
And she knows what floating shells are, so she's extra fancy.
Oh, floating shelves are very common.
You know, my house is not up to date. So, I know I've seen them. I know now that I know what they are. Yeah, lots of houses use them for all kinds of things.
Floating mantles now, you know.
I'm gonna.
They don't have the pieces underneath that look like support or are support. It just floats.
I like that.
It's just clean.
Thank you for the visual. That'll help me remember.
Suzanne says that that's right. I was right about the metal shelf basically for the storage.
Good. That's a great idea. I love the ideas that we get from other people. And I was just showing you, can you see how transparent that quinacridone and yellow orange azo makes? Which can drive you nuts, but then I can just paint over. You don't have to do it this way. I just thought it might be kind of interesting. I can paint over with red. And you can actually then maybe make a little faster progress. Because I already have some of the shadows down. So hopefully that makes sense, and it's also something you don't have to do. And then I'll put more coats on here because I'm a layer fan. I also kind of like glazing. I don't know if it's technically glazing, but I'm going to get some, actually I'm going to grab some orange. Oh, and then I put a coat of the brown black on because it's going to need 2 coats. You can see how sort of smeary it is. So I don't usually say this live, but sometimes it's better. I know I'm doing better with talking and painting because the first couple lives we'd get off, I'm like, Emily, I have a humongous headache from talking and painting, which I think is kind of funny. So I think this is good for me. I'm stretching my brain power. I know it's good for me to hang out with you guys. I really appreciate you being here. I think I've said that 3 times. It's some version of that, but I really do. I don't realize I'm repeating myself till after I've started the sentence.
It's just your fluid consciousness.
Oh my gosh. At least you know, I always say to the kids at least you know I'm not thinking bad thoughts about you. Because I'm thinking out loud. I don't know, did I say that to you? Maybe I say it to other people.
Oh yeah, you say it all the time.
Yeah.
Because like you sometimes you truly just do narrate.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Yeah, your life or what's happening or.
I do it before the lives. Okay, the phone's shut off.
Yes.
My phone's on my cell phone's on do not disturb. My iPad, the volume is down and it's always on do not disturb. You know, I run through the list out loud, and Emily gets to hear it every time. Oh, yeah, it's probably good I'm self-employed.
I think it is a combination of the self-employed, but then also, you know, still from when, probably more me than Jack, when we were small and like, if you left the room to go to the bathroom, I'd be like, where are you going?
Yeah.
And so you just say out loud, okay, I'm doing this, and I'm going to go here, and...
I'll leave the door open, which I really didn't appreciate, but you leave the door open, then the kid leaves you alone when you're in the bathroom. At least you two, maybe not every kid. Excuse me. Yeah, I did do that. It seemed to help you guys. I don't know if that's a normal kid thing or...
Well, yeah, because I wouldn't, like, you know, I usually hovered where you were, so if, like, I didn't realize and all of a sudden you got up and were gone, I'd probably get up and go look for you. But since you told me, I'm like, I'll stay here.
Watch Powerpuff Girls?
Yeah.
Oh, I put a couple of green brush strokes into the cardinal's head, which I can paint out if I don't like them, just to kind of help get... And I'm using almost straight up yellow right now, just to get some volume going. Also remind me of what I'm thinking.
Do you, we were chatting too long, so whenever you want.
Oh, yeah.
We are overdue for our,
We don't know what to call it. Hey, you guys help us.
Oh, Eric called it ice cream break last time.
Oh, yeah, Eric called it ice cream.
The ice cream break.
But that's confusing if we don't have ice cream.
Like a coffee break? It's some kind of, I always want to be like, it's the brought to you by break.
Yeah, from viewers. Yeah, it's the PBS commercial stuff.
I don't know. I just feel.
If you're in the U.S., PBS is public broadcasting system. That's public TV.
It's always the same voice, same woman's voice saying, brought to you by for viewers, or brought to you by.
Sorry, I'm laughing, which makes it harder.
Brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's pretty good. That was really good. Okay, so we'll start with, let's start with thank yous. Thank you, Barbara N., for sending money through Venmo. We really appreciate it. And thank you, Elma C., for sending money through PayPal. It's just so nice. You guys are just so wonderful. It helps us buy like the video arm that I've got my phone in right now. And not too long ago, I bought a tabletop easel. Right now I'm saving up to buy more canvases, and I'm waiting for a sale too at Michael's. But I'm actually I'm 3/4 of the way through my stash, I think. I had quite the stash.
You're looking thin over there.
I know. It makes my studio bigger.
Yeah.
And then next live, I'm organized. Oh, it's too big. It's a 6x8 canvas panel we're going to paint. And it's a cardinal and a polar bear. I'm kind of in the mood. But I think this is going to be cute. So sometimes I show my sketch. One to say, yeah, I can draw. This polar bear, I don't know if you can see all the eraser marks. The cardinal, which looks much harder, piece of cake for me. The polar bear drove me nuts. But I finally got it. Or at least I got it to where I'm happy. And I have the traceable up on my website. So then I cleaned it up, made it a little easier to download, and it'll print better. And I like the graph paper. I think that might help you guys scale. You can let me know if you like the graph paper. Oh, gosh, lots of commercials. I think it's this Friday, my free wallpaper goes up. And it's just a little way to thank you guys for hanging out with us and supporting my artist life. I'm trying to look at my calendar. Yeah, so October 29th, this will go up on Facebook. Oh, and my website, and you can download it. Or if you need any help, I can send you the image. Just message me. So the pumpkin became wallpaper for your devices.
And then the full video for that goes up
on Halloween.
On Sunday, on Halloween. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for saying that. That's absolutely a good point. And I think that's funny. I didn't even know when I scheduled it. I didn't even think about it. That it was going to be Halloween.
Yeah. It works out perfect, though.
Yeah, it does.
Pumpkin on Halloween.
I don't think anybody in the live is from Omaha, but if you happen to be from Omaha and you're rewatching the live, I will be at the Artist Cooperative Gallery in historic downtown Omaha this Friday from 11 to 5 if you want to stop by and say hi. It'll be my first time working, so I'm excited. I'll be there for 6 hours.
Oof.
What did I do with my brush? There it is. So yay, thank you for letting us do the commercial. Mostly I want to thank people publicly because that just is a big deal to us. Mm-hmm. So you can see how the love isn't covering how transparent.
Oh yeah, that's a good gauge.
That's a good visual. Yeah. Were you going to say something?
Just that Tinker said, she asked if you've watched Lachry? L-A-C-H-R fine art, or L-A-C-H-R-I fine art. She's goals when it comes to talking while painting. I want her multitasking skills.
She is. She has like tree frogs and plants, and I watch her once in a while. I think lately, Tinker might know better. Oh, I just hopefully didn't hit my microphone there. Lately, I think she's painting in Photoshop. I don't even think she's using Procreate.
That's hard.
Tinker may or may not know. And then she talks all the time. And I think she has great stories too. Yeah, talk about YouTube goals. I remember thinking I don't have stories. What is her first name? I think she goes by Lachry Fine Art.
Yeah, that's what Tinker put in the chat. But
yeah, I can't think of her first name. But yeah, I've watched her a couple times. Was the short answer. She does some really neat. I would call it realism, but there's also a little fantasy maybe bent to it. I don't know if it's always hard to know what adjectives to use for art sometimes.
But painting in Photoshop,
I think that's what she's doing.
I assume she would use then like a tablet type.
I think she might be. I'm not totally sure. I haven't watched her long enough.
I did that for a minute, the Illustrator, but I would use Illustrator, I guess.
Yeah, I had a Wacom tablet for a little bit, but I really didn't like it. I think Jack got
And then
it
I
for me.
swiped it.
Yeah, you did swipe it.
Yeah.
I think Jack,
It is a little like, yeah, Jack gave that to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jack. I don't
It's a
think-
little weird to get used to, but I feel like that's an easier thing for like me to adapt to maybe than you, who is used to like, if you are using that type of tool, it's like absolutely immediate and like,
It's like this.
yeah, it's
Yeah, well, and it's much better, like if you had a Cintiq, which is more money, or now iPad and an iPad Pro, it's much more, it's better.
iPad
Way
Pro.
better.
That's my bread and butter.
Well, I was going to learn Procreate on the iPad, and I got a little bit started, but I need to do it and do it and do it so I don't forget until it becomes more second nature to me. I couldn't spend the time on it. Maybe someday. It's only a $10 app. We could do iPad Pro create videos. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that do that.
It already technically like kind of films a time lapse for you within it. As it like you don't have to set it up or anything.
Is that how you do the GIFs for the?
No, that's the animation tool within it. But
you use Procreate for the Art Hug GIF, the new Art Hug GIF at the end of our videos?
Yes, yeah, I use Procreate for that, but there's an animation system already built into it, but then there's, aside from that animation system or whatever deal is, it just time lapses like a normal art piece, or it time lapses what you do.
I'm gonna, got one more thing to paint, but I'm still gonna switch brushes, I think. So the red went on faster, because I already had all the shading underneath. And I'm gonna put more red on. But I'm gonna grab a little of this grayish, brownish color. Oops. I think I'm just gonna I'm gonna leave that little triangle white. Trying to think, so the light is gonna be coming from the top left like I typically do. So the only way that would stay lighter is if it sticks out far, but I still think I might defy nature a little bit here and see how that looks. Excuse me, I'm gonna take a drink, guys. Oh gosh. Time flies when you're having fun.
I know, we have 15 minutes, not even left in the hour, and then, so we have 45 minutes basically left.
I just realized like my art table wiggles, and I think when I grabbed my drink, I wiggled the video arm. Eventually we'll be real high tech and cool. Well, maybe not cool.
Just high tech.
Speak for myself.
Yeah, forget the cool, only high tech.
I think it's too much pressure to be cool. I might grab a little straight up quinacridone and just darken that shadow a little bit. I can tell you guys are keeping Emily busy. Keep her out of trouble, as my dad would say. Hey, Dad, if you're there, hope you're having a good day. It kind of came out a little squeaky. So part of me wants to worry about this area in here, and then part of me knows there's going to be leaf branches. And then the other part of me that's worried takes over. I grabbed a little dark green. I'm just going to define that a little bit, just in case I don't. And then I have a blob on the end of my brush. I'm just kind of tapping because it's, and then I notice this has got a little, you can go as smooth as you want or as rough as you want. Sometimes I just do it because it bugs me. Oh, I should have showed the cow video that's coming up in almost 3 weeks.
Speaking of, oh wait, no, not that cow video. That cow video has since come and gone, the Mavis. But Tinker said, I bet this small piece is refreshing after the big one you did with the cows.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
like, wow, I paint fast now.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know about how many hours you think you put into that cow?
Mavis?
Yeah, Mavis.
No.
Or the 3 cows, I guess.
You know, it went pretty quick because I went a little more. Sorry, guys. It doesn't look looser, but I went looser on it.
Mm-hmm.
So typically it would have been 30 hours, but I wonder if I did it in 20 or 25. Which maybe doesn't seem fast at all. These take me about 3. I don't know if I've already said that. Just because yeah, I think I did. So now I'm going to go back with another layer here because it should be fairly dry. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Darn it. Switch brush. So I'm just kind of getting some paint out of it and I'm going to leave it a little wet. Oh, I didn't say my brush is a number 1 Simply Simmons. I'm pretty sure this is a number 4 Royal Langnickel, but I've worn off the handle. Let's paint. I'm going to put a little straight up yellow orange azo. Let's get the beak gone so it can dry. The tape really helps me, so if I keep it down, I should be on in frame. I always want to say on camera, but then it throws me because it's a video. It's my phone. It's not a camera. I get kind of literal.
Oh, Chase has made his appearance.
Hey, Chase, man, how you doing? Thank you for coming to every single live. Well, we have several people have come to all of them. Thank you, all of you.
And he dropped his typical $4.99 with the little goat emoji.
Oh, thank you, Chase. He's really helping our monetization.
Yeah. It always shows Wednesday as a good day.
It does. Every Wednesday. It's because of us, not Chase. Maybe he might not appreciate that humor.
Oh, no.
Sarcasm. Thank you, Chase. You know, I was thinking about how he has a home office.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say back in the day, everybody thought it was so cool when I was self-employed. I had a fax machine, worked from home, you know. I'm like, oh, it has, I mean, it does. The flexibility is really nice, but there's downsides too.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get away from it. So I was going to glaze with more with red, and I decided I wanted a little more contrast right here. Okay, it's looking, it's looking okay. Probably should pick up the pace a little.
Yeah, he looks cute.
I just cleaned my brushes decently after when I switch, which also takes extra time, but I tend to forget them. And I still do it out of habit, even though I think we discussed last time that you can clean them with, you know, isopropyl, is that how you say that? Alcohol or hand sanitizer. It'll dissolve the acrylic.
I wouldn't use it as your main cleaning method because I guess it probably wouldn't harm a synthetic brush that bad.
Oh, I mean, it's ruined if you can't get the paint out and it's solid.
True.
I think it does eventually ruin them. You know, I had paint on a really old jacket. I don't know how long that paint's been on there. I'm like, oh. So I took some hand sanitizer and I got the paint off.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I found another spot, so I've got to do it again before when I wash it again, I got to. That's just slick.
That is slick.
I always wear t-shirts too because I don't have a t-shirt on today, but I don't wear my absolute favorite clothes because I don't want to get paint on them. And an apron. Definitely wear an apron in case I drop a brush or something. I think that's starting to look better. So I'm just using a little of the orange over the red just to warm it up a little bit.
I think Tinker... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I just was going to say, I think Tinker thinks you painted those cows fast because she says, oh, wow, I've been working on the same painting forever. It takes me 1 hour per flower petal.
Oh, gosh. I think I saw that, Tinker. I think I liked it this morning. Well, she gets really nice realism, and so it's going to take longer.
Yeah. Yes.
I've been forcing myself, like I've been painting some landscapes to loosen up. I need to go back to painting some more of those. And also painting little simple ones for YouTube, because I think it kills two birds, one for me and one for maybe someone who's new to painting. But yeah, speed isn't... I am getting faster. I'm trying to force myself to get faster. Painting during the pandemic and not having any graphic design clients anymore, also is helping me speed up a little. But I used to be the time would be the short side of the canvas. But since these are more simple, they take me 3 hours instead of 4. But I think that's even speeding up. I'm not totally... I need to remember to time myself because people are asking me.
Yeah. I mean, do you think you're still like an hour per linear inch? Or
no? Well, I know I wasn't on those cows because the end of the video came together a lot more quickly, a lot faster. Gosh, my grammar's horrible when I'm painting.
Just like caveman.
I do. I feel like I'm a caveman. So I don't know. I'm faster. Painting, like I've painted some flowers. I painted the daisies that's sort of horizontal. I can't even remember what I titled that painting. Or the party, it's not party poppies. What I call the newest poppies, do you remember them?
Oh, dancing? No. That was something else.
But those, painting those and not even having a traceable and just going at it. I'm painting those a little faster now.
Let's see here.
If you paint something a couple times, like I've got a chicken traceable I've painted 2 or 3 different times, that'll make it go faster. If you're always doing new subjects, you're going to go slower. Like I don't know how I want to paint this guy yet, so I kind of creep up on it. But when I paint the second one, it's going to go much faster, and the third one.
It says party poppies in the video description.
Okay, so. It was party poppies.
You've had quite a few poppies, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I like poppies. They're fun to paint.
They get mixed up. Speaking of your mixing or all your poppies, I have quite a backlog of videos that take me time to cut down to 3 minutes or less so that I can put them on your TikTok. And I just got to, and I'm also bouncing between because since I've had laptop problems, I'm bouncing between old laptop and then like all the fill-in things that I've used to edit your videos. But I just got to the palette knife poppy one, which is very similar to the poppies that I have that's hanging in front of my desk. Those ones. So you do have quite a few poppies in the...
I do.
I love your poppies.
Well, I've got a messy little poppy video. I think I did with a palette knife that would be, I think, easy for a beginner. There's always the white canvas fear, and then you want it to kind of turn out like mine, I think, if you're new or a beginner type. I don't know if that's always true, but you kind of have to figure out that it's going to look like yours. I don't know. I hope that sounded kind, not mean. It's something that just comes with time and painting.
Oh, yeah. Tinker also asked, do you find smooth surfaces like flowers to be faster than something with fur? Because she's never done fur before.
Oh, gosh. The buffalo? Was that like my second live? Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, daisies might have like 3 brush strokes on them to get the values. And then the fur, I might go both darker and lighter because I'm like, oh, I want it darker here, and so you end up with more brush strokes, or like the ear in the 3 cows I was doing and frustrated with. I might have 4 or 5 layers on it by the time I'm happy.
Yeah.
So yeah, fur takes longer for me. But you get more the more I paint fur, the more efficient I'll get. So every once in a while, just to point it out, I grab a little quinacridone, which I think I'm liking, and put a little.
You cool them off a little bit.
Yeah, I hear a blue jay outside, which
I know.
Probably can't hear. But it also just kind of gives it a little, it cools them off and gives it a little more depth. So if I would mix just a pinch of white in some of these colors, I could paint this faster and it wouldn't be so transparent. Which is why I add a pinch of unbleached titanium back in here, because it becomes more opaque much more quickly. You don't need so many layers. I don't know what color I have in my brush. Let's just see. I think we should have cardinals instead of blue jays outside the window.
I know. It'd only be... That's why he's talking, is because he knows that you're painting a cardinal.
Mm.
He's just screaming.
I think the gentle rain's really nice.
Mm-hmm. It's very white noise machine, you know?
Cheap fan.
Yeah, cheap fan. That's literally mine. Living in an apartment, the second I moved, I think even into like the dorms at college, I was like, I need to learn to sleep with a fan on, because you just hear everything. So all the thin walls in apartments, yeah, I've trained myself that I sleep with like a box fan, a cheap box fan.
Well, you know I do too, because your father's up at
The crack of
4
dawn.
a.m. showering, and drawers and closets, and like, the fan helps. Doesn't help when Freckles yells at me in the middle of the night, trying to warn me of whatever. Hey, there's a raccoon outside, you know, whatever she's thinking.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the raccoons actually lately. Sometimes we've had raccoons in the sewer out in front of our house. So I don't know if I like what I just did, but we'll just see what happens. But you can tell that just adding that little pinch of white made it much more opaque.
Tinker made a good point in the chat that you can paint something twice and it still comes out different.
Yeah.
So expecting it to turn out like yours is unrealistic, but I still expect it to be like the tutorial or reference photo anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do too. When I have a reference photo, I both love it and hate it. So I'm like, and then I'm getting better with all the practice I've been getting lately at going off reference photo script at a certain point. And I think that helps the painting go faster. But I get that. That is a great point. And of course, it's always a little different for everybody because I have a little bit different personality. I kind of like the realism, and I'm like, I pulled that off feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not necessarily speedy to do.
But I don't know if it's something you thought of or you heard somewhere, but the handwriting, how you said like everybody, even in painting, like has their own handwriting.
Yeah,
you know, everyone writes their A's different, so that means, you know, it just translates to painting as well. I think that's perfect because
I'm sure I'm not the first artist to say that.
Yeah.
I'm sure I probably picked it up from like one of my art teachers or something.
But I think that's perfect because I think you have to be kind of like a special artist to be like ghost artists for illustrators or ghost illustrators kind of thing.
You have to be a forger.
That's talent to forge it that good to look like someone else's art.
Yeah. Oh, you know what we could do? Yeah, good point, Em. I'm gonna grab a little white, and should we have a little hair coming out? Going off script. I'm gonna grab a little white and pull out some of these. We can come back with some color and tone them back in. Oh, I think that might be a decent little tip. That's why they take me a long time, though. You can tell totally. I'm like, oh, let's do that. And then it makes me happy. And then I chuckle, or whatever that laugh is. Just gonna let that dry a little bit. So I'm not real happy with how my shadow's showing through here. So maybe we'll grab a little more white and a little orange. Let's bring that around a little more. I don't like it for some reason. That's kind of funny. So I work a little area, let it dry, unless I want to blend it in. If I wanted to blend it in, I could grab some red and come back into it, or make it smaller. Oh, my tone is funny. Make it smaller. I notice I'm not whispering quite so much. Do you think that's true, Em?
I think so.
I think that's better because I was really whispering too in some of the earlier lives. Somehow that made it better. So now I'm putting some back in. But to me, that's fun. That could drive you nuts depending on what you want to, how you want to paint, what you want to achieve, or that can be fun. But it also slows the painting down. So Emily's behind me, and I didn't look today while she's typing, which has got to be super annoying because when she types, I talk. She's much better at multitasking than
I just tune, like, I hear you talking, but I don't even.
Don't register it.
Yeah.
Well, I was wondering if she brought any crocheting today.
Oh, I did. I was working on a headband. I'm not very far.
Oh, I'd like to see that. I want a headband.
It just looks like a yarn noodle right now.
We should, it'll probably embarrass Emily, but we should shout out her Etsy store. She's doing really well, and I have one of her earrings on. I tend to buy the cute earrings. She has some really pretty ones. I just love them. I've been wearing my skulls for Halloween.
Oh, for Halloween, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I can get that back in front of a mirror.
Yeah, I sold a couple of the skull pair for Halloween.
The teeth and the lips are fun. The ghosts are fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it might be a little late for shipping.
I don't. Yeah,
Oh,
it'd be
depends
hit or
where you
miss.
live.
Yeah, yes, because sometimes it can take like 4 days around the U.S., but
Just late for Halloween, not late for stockings.
oh, for like yeah. But it might actually get like if it would be cutting it close because I use USPS, so it doesn't move on Sundays, and obviously Sunday is Halloween, so.
Oh yeah, it is. So I just did a commercial, and she'll probably say something when we're not live. Mom, I love my hat you made. That's so fun. I like that Bonita said the whole preemie thing. That's a good.
Yeah.
Can you use your extra yarn that way?
Yeah, I totally could. Right now I'm trying, I'm kind of using like the extra yarn to figure out other patterns and things like that, but that's smart because I bet I'll get a lot of, like people talk about making, they call it scrap, I guess like scrap blankets, so you just use a lot of like the same type of yarn for a scrap blanket, but I think I would call it a Franken blanket because it's just
oh cute,
like, you know, Frankenstein's just mishmash pieces and then you put it all in a blanket, so it's like a Franken blanket.
I'll buy a Franken blanket from you.
Or a Franklet, if you really want to.
You've been thinking about this.
Yeah, I was like, that's funny.
That is funny. I was hanging out with a bunch of ladies on Monday, and they were asking about your store. So you have to put a link to your store when you're done typing.
I'm putting a link to, I'm being slow 'cause you're making me use both parts of my brain. But
I'll be quiet.
Suzanne said she'd love to see you paint poppies with a knife.
Oh, we could do that.
Yeah, which is what I was thinking. We could either do another one or you could do another type of that looking flower with a knife if you don't want to do poppies again, because you do have a poppy video up, but so I sent that link, but we could also do it again because
that's true, but they probably want to, well, I don't know.
We haven't done it on a live, so you could maybe talk more about
we're learning in what people like for lives and videos.
Yes.
And getting better. I still don't like that shadow there. I wonder how much time, I'm sorry honey, I do need to type.
No, I'm done typing.
How much time, like 15 minutes left, or is that too hard for your?
Oh, it's 1:09, so we have like 20 minutes left.
I'm gonna I'm gonna start working on this a little bit so people can at least see it, I think.
I'm trying to do the math for you now because you said that
oh
your
no,
brain
actually
can't
I
do the
realized
math.
I've got like 20 minutes left. I forgot I started my watch. And I keep putting my foot up on my art table, but then it probably wiggles.
Yeah. Yep. Or like you just grabbed your cup and it wiggled.
Yeah, but I was
But that's fine.
getting
It's
rough,
not
and I
bad.
thought maybe a drink would be better than clearing my throat.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not a.
So you could start. any way you want. That's what's so nice about acrylics. Like I lightened and I darkened and I lightened in this area. Maybe I'll grab a little black. I kind of changed the shape of his beak, but I think it's okay. Oh, no, I didn't. I just had a different shape in my mind. I'm going to put a little black here so you can see how it's better with a second coat. Starts to look black. And then I'm going to put a little black. Oh, so one thing I didn't talk about, and I did. Hang on a second, guys. It's lighter right here because my cardinal is looking off my ornament, or painting. If you aren't making an ornament, you're just painting on a little bit larger canvas. And it's really not a problem except for me because it's a portrait of a cardinal. But to keep you more in the painting, I have my lightest area over here. And then I've kind of hinted at greenery a little bit. I mean, it's pretty messy. But what I think I might do is take some of this funny black. You could use Mars black. You don't have to mix. If you want to save money, or you're maybe taking them with you, packing them, you could. It's kind of nice to be able to pack a few colors you know you could mix. You know, take a blue, and you have the primaries, and you can mix pretty much whatever colors you want. So I'm going to put in, I don't know if that is even showing, some darker strokes. To remind me, I also want to put in some berries, but I don't know if we'll get that far. And I don't know if these will even show. A lot of times I do things and it doesn't show when I get down to it because I cover it up. I kind of like the little tuft there that I'm hinting at.
It's a little chilly, so he's all puffed.
So wait, I've kind of got him a little fat, so it kind of makes sense. I tend to draw my birds fat.
You draw them like right when it's kind of like the temperature's dropping, but they haven't like flown south, or what do like robins do?
I think they migrate, I think.
Migrate?
Somebody might know.
When you see them like in the trees and they're all like puffed up.
Oh, they come back too soon and they're eating all the berries off the crab tree, all the apples. Yeah, they look kind of miserable. So I don't know if I'm helping myself here, but just kind of hinted a couple more. Okay. So while that dries, I'm going to go back. Let's put some yellow, orange. Can't decide, let's make a lighter orange. Oh, my stomach just growled. That hasn't happened in a little while. There. Do we like that? Is it too orangey, yellowy? Might have to let it dry and decide.
Yeah, it matches his wing a little bit. It's a little more yellow, but
I was thinking about darkening his wing a little bit. I don't want to get this too light just because my motion kind of keeps you in the painting. This light area helps keep you in the painting because the beak's a big target with the black around it. Oh, I got a little oops there. We could call that on purpose. But I kind of want a little more, even though I don't mind seeing the texture of the canvas, I kind of want it a little more rich. So then I come back and I put more red paint on. And then you can go like right over where the shadow is. Can you see that? You can't even tell I'm going over where the darker paint in the shadow is, so you don't have to be quite so particular once you've got, so I'm going over everything with red. There you could kind of see the change. That's kind of what's nice about transparent paint. You get the structure down and you can kind of play with the values and what color you have. I'm gonna make him a little more red, and then I probably won't like it and I'll make him a little more glowy. Yeah, that's kind of fun. And then my shadow that I have right here is starting to blend in better. I like that. I think he's starting to come alive. I'm waiting for my black to dry a little bit, and I'll work on the pine needles. This is a little dull in here. I'll work on that a little bit. Oh, you know what I also want to do? I might not like it, but I'm gonna... see if I like that tone down a little bit. Oh, no, I just put too much on it maybe. I'm gonna stop, let it dry. Let's see what we think. Sometimes I don't like it. Like right now I'm a little frustrated with what I just did, but it might be just fine. Okay, I'm gonna grab a little red and make this a little... there, I like that better. I probably need to hold it up. I don't know if this is such a little guy you can see it very well. So I kind of make push and pull values a little bit. Putting a little bit of this color on, it'll soften it. It's just whatever you end up liking, which can be annoying, I suppose, if you want to know step by step. But yeah, each of my ornaments will turn out a little different, so that, but that makes them hand-painted originals. Okay, I'm gonna... I think that cardinal's starting to look pretty good. I actually might like that. That might be okay. I'm gonna grab a little of my, not quite white. Got a drip of water there. And remind myself I want a berry. Oh, we gotta have a berry at the end. And they could be straight up white. I just don't know what I want to do yet, so I grab a slightly gray color and it's going to dry darker. It's a weird shaped berry. I think we'll just leave it. It's not getting better. And then I didn't leave it. So we have 4. We need... So like in flower... I had a flower arranging class in college and I thought I'd be so good at it because I was an art student and graphic design student. It was so hard and I was so bad at it. And the instructor would say, you know, always think odd numbers. 3s, 5s. And the thing that was hard for me is I'd want to pull it out and stick it back in, and then my little green foam thing would be loaded with holes and everything would just fall. It was so funny how hard that was for me to just stick it in and leave it.
I hate that foam stuff. Yeah, because we would use it to keep an arrangement like solid at the design studio.
Oh, yeah, for interior design stuff.
But it makes this like the horrendous like squeaking feeling as you like stab the stick into it. Ooh, it just gives me like the chills.
Yes, it does do that.
I do not like that stuff. Or like we would cut it with just like a kitchen knife because that's all we had, and then
oh, I can hear it now. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, it gives me the heebie-jeebies.
So I had a pre-mixed yellow-green color. All I did was take Hooker's green and some of the yellow-orange azo and made a lighter green, and now I'm just adding some white. Oh, if you want a tip, a lot of times you'll like it better if you warm up your green with yellow instead of white, because white goes minty on it. It will go minty on you. So if you're doing a landscape. Okay, I had way too much green. Oh, well, we'll just use that. And then if you want, after you add some yellow to it, then add some white, and it'll be a warmer, lighter green. You might like that better. Or is this one's almost a little cooler? Or if you go here. Last time we mixed portrait pink. That was kind of fun. Just take...
Yeah, that was fun.
Well, and you were right. I really didn't need to add the burnt umber.
I know.
I just got a little salty.
I know. And of course, then you had to clarify off camera that I was in fact correct when I had to admit on camera that you were right.
Well, now I'm leveling the playing field and admitting on camera, on audio.
Yeah, you've been caught on film admitting.
Emily was right. I didn't need the burnt umber to make the portrait pink.
I do like to think that, because I would never, while I was painting, I would never, ever, ever mix enough paint. So I got really good at remixing colors. So I like to think that I am a pro color mixer, but also probably not.
Okay, enough said. No follow-up needed. You like that?
Yeah, but like I'd be like, I would get, it was, I did it to myself every time. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna mix enough this time.
Oh, I never mix enough.
I'm gonna mix enough, and then I would never, and I just got so tired of like having to repaint the whole thing because I would like, it'd be a little too blue or a little too yellow or a little too something. So.
Yeah, you can go crazy.
Yeah, so I became a pro at color mixing.
No, it does. Well, here I've mixed enough paint because I'm painting such a little thing. But with the three cows on the 30 by 40 inch canvas, there's no way I was ever going to mix enough paint.
Yeah, that would be tough. Big ones, it's kind of tough to account for.
So how you solve that problem is like I have my paints sitting out here so I know what colors I used. And I put away paints I'm not using so I don't get confused. And then I've always got the dried puddle so I can get it close because I know it's going to dry a little darker. But I can get it close if you're willing to keep trying. Oh, I just wiggled my table. And then if you don't want to get it that close, I'm going to take this painting just so because the other one's wet. So like say I mix a new orange, just put some of that orange in other places and it unifies the painting and no one knows that you didn't mix enough paint or want to bother mixing it close again. Just work it into the painting.
I love how that pumpkin turned out.
Yeah, I was going to frame it. I varnished it. I don't know how long ago. I want to make sure it was good and dry before I stuck it in a frame.
Because that's the video that comes out on
Halloween.
Sunday on Halloween. But I love it because it just like photographs so pretty and like the orange against the green. It looks so pretty.
The video, maybe I should do that again. I flashed it. The video smooths it out. But if you get close, you can see the texture of things. See where I smeared it with my finger? Oh, that's a big finger. So I do all kinds of things. I optically blend. I blend while it's wet, like I did here, kind of in and out. Just whatever's going to make it work for me, which might add too many tips or too many techniques. If you're new, I would work on shading. I would even draw like circles and shade them. I've got a blob video that's pretty fun. I use colored pencil, but you could use paint too and just work on shading. But to me, it's easier not to fight. If your paints are drying fast, not to fight it, just put layers on. Boy, I get on that soapbox, Em.
I know. I've got your soapbox ready for when the time comes.
When we can put emojis in the super chat.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a long ways off?
Probably. That's like membership tier, I believe.
Oh, well, we can do membership now, but I just thought it'd be kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, but I was doing them, we got the art hug, we got the soapbox. I was doing them slowly, so then it's not like all of a sudden time for you to have membership or people are asking for membership, I guess. And then we have nothing, like no emojis or nothing. So I was like, we'll do it nice and slow, nice and gradual.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, gosh, yeah.
But I don't, other than I need to start thinking of
We're
more
approved.
again.
I'm pretty sure we're approved for membership, but I didn't know what to do with it.
I know, yeah. It approves you pretty early, but I agree. I don't know what to do with it because I don't know the numbers. But if you kind of think of like a conversion rate for like a view per purchase, you can probably associate that with like membership or people wanting to sign up. So I think we'd probably have to wait till we have more.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know. Because I've never been on this side of YouTube, so I don't know. Well,
and we could somehow set it up so if you're a member, then you use the emojis in the chat. Is that how that works?
Yeah. Typically, yeah. I think there's, if you're a member, you get... There can be like tier systems, I think. In YouTube, I don't know if you can do tier systems. I think you can. That's a whole other thing. I think it's just something we also have to learn, too.
I had too much water on my brush and it blobbed on my painting, so I just sopped it up with a paper towel, and it's still kind of doing it. We need to figure it out. And I assume, too, that whoever enjoys hanging out with us will let us know what they like. And I don't want to, like, make them... I mean, if they're already supporting the traceables, they don't need to... They don't have to support everything. That's asking too much, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's another thing is, like... So then...
I'm already super grateful. I don't want to keep nickel and diming.
You urge, like, a member, like, no, please, you know, don't... Just take the traceables or something like that. Yeah, I think it's a whole thing to figure out.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
They'll help us.
But for now, I'll just quietly, slowly make you little cute emojis for when the time comes.
Yeah, it's fun. I love the art tag you started putting them in the videos.
Yeah, he's cute. Yeah,
he
gets
cute.
A little
He
bell.
Moves, he winks.
His eyes shut. He doesn't wink. He.
He? Okay.
We'll make our art hug a he. Artie.
Okay.
Artie the art hug.
What's nice is they know we're not scripted. Because we laugh at our own jokes.
Yeah, he like happy closes his eyes and then he like rocks back and forth while he holds his little paint palette.
He rocks because he's insecure.
No, he's happy. That's why he rocks.
Yeah, he's happy. Yeah, sorry, I went a little dark there. You know, I didn't really paint in my branch, and I don't know if I need to, but I might just do it just so I paint down. I've got this great brown I mixed for the branch. I haven't. Let's just put it in there. I might be a little step ahead. So does it bug you guys that what I'm going to do with this one, because I just looked at my watch, is I'll finish painting the branches off camera. I'll probably tweak the cardinal. Oh, I haven't finished the face. I'll splatter after this live, and then I'll put a full video together. And what I did with the gnome video, but it hasn't posted yet, is I downloaded the live and I time-lapsed it, and it was about 4, 5, 6 minutes, and put it in the full video, which I think makes more sense. Mm-hmm. With the pumpkin, it jumps ahead and I make you go look at the live. So now that that's been a super confusing paragraph, if anybody wants to say what they prefer, if they don't, you can just message me privately, like on Facebook or something, and let me know what you prefer. Because I'm trying to figure out what makes sense. Mm-hmm. But clearly I'm not even getting a 4-inch ornament that I started quite done. So I'm wondering if it's just more efficient if I download the live and put it in the full video, which you mentioned a while ago and I didn't do, Emily.
That was my original plan.
Yes. And then I didn't do it. Mm-hmm. But I'm wondering if we should do it. I did it with the gnome, but it's not posting until November 5th, which I've said several times.
People are going to be ready for that gnome on November 5th.
I don't know why I keep saying the date.
On November 5th, there's going to be a gnome.
It's like I'm scared nobody's going to watch it or some goofy
Make sure you were there on November 5th.
It's been an odd chat for us. For me. My brain is in weird places. Oh, I was doing brown. So you could tell I don't... Brown.
November 5th, Friday. Sorry.
Friday. Is that like pro wrestling?
Sunday.
What is that from?
I don't know.
Yeah, I repeat mode today. Here, let's just put a little brown here. I don't think it's going to show. We'll just cover up those whites. I left them there just so I wouldn't forget. Made it pretty brown. What used to make me so nervous is like, the thoughts that run through my head. I'm like, they're going to just think I'm crazy. I'll grab a little white. I realized back here that I didn't know where the branch was, which is what made me think of the brown. Just throw a little white in there. I might cover it up. And then one of my favorite things to do is I like to... this is a skinny ornament, but just in case somebody catches the side of it on their tree or wherever they hang it. You can hang it on a little knob, on a cupboard. Oops, I don't have, here, we'll just grab some white. I just took the image off camera too. Yeah. I wonder if I should paint a berry. So I'm just going to keep adding layers of color and branches until I'm happy. I'm not happy now. And then I'm just going to grab some red. Oh, my watch just went off.
Yep, it's 1:30.
Okay, we'll do a branch and we'll say goodbye.
Okie doke.
I'm so glad that we have people. It's been fun to get to know you guys. We have people, Emily. I guess that's what I don't need to say. We have people.
Got a crew.
I think that's so cool. I didn't think we would have people.
A friend group.
I know. It's really fun for me. It's been so good for me. It's been fun for me to share my art. That's something else I thought, who's going to want to watch this? It's got to be boring.
Yeah, that's what you'd always tell me. Emily, who wants to watch that? Isn't that boring? And I'm like, you would be so surprised. Like, everything is on YouTube. You can learn how to do anything. You can.
I used to watch Ginger for acrylic painting tips because I'd never painted an acrylic before.
Yeah.
Ginger Cook, if you guys watch her or don't watch her. And I'm like, oh, I know what I'm doing. I just didn't know about spraying the canvases to. So that was a great tip. Thank you, Ginger. So I'm just going to add a little highlight. They won't be done. But there's if you want to keep it pushed back, there's a muted berry. Okay, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. I know that the cardinals usually sell well, and I figured it'd be a popular one to paint live. And I'll make a full video out of it, so if you want to watch it from start to finish, you can. Thanks for hanging out in the chat. That means so much to us. Great big happy art hugs, and I hope to chat with you soon. Bye, guys.